It's an honor to stand before you today. I want to speak about a truth that can radically shift the way you approach life, leadership, and purpose. Many are called, but not all remain chosen. Not because their calling disappeared, but because of actions that disqualify them from their destiny. If you are doing this, you are no longer chosen. Compromise diminishes calling because it represents a subtle yet significant shift away from the principles that align you with your purpose. When you compromise, you exchange what is essential for what is convenient. And this exchange always comes at a cost. Purpose demands a high standard of commitment, discipline, and unwavering focus. It calls for decisions that are not always comfortable, but are always necessary for growth and alignment. The moment you allow compromise into your life, you create cracks in the foundation of your destiny. These cracks may seem small at first, a slight lowering of standards here, a slight deviation from your values there, but over time they grow into larger gaps that weaken your resolve and obscure your vision. Compromise may feel like an easy choice in the moment, but it slowly erodes your ability to stay on the path you were chosen to walk. It often begins with rationalizations. You tell yourself it's just this once, or that it doesn't really matter. But every time you choose convenience over conviction, you train yourself to settle. And settling is the antithesis of being chosen. Those who are chosen understand that the cost of their calling is high and that it requires saying no to anything that threatens to dilute their purpose. Compromise also affects your influence. When you lower your standard, you lose credibility. The people who look to you as an example see the inconsistency and their trust begins to waver. Being chosen means carrying a mantle of responsibility. Not just for yourself, but for those who are inspired by your journey. Compromise diminishes that responsibility and causes you to drift further from the impact you were meant to make. To be chosen is to be set apart, and being set apart means refusing to settle for mediocrity. It means holding yourself to a standard that reflects the magnitude of your calling. Neglecting personal growth is one of the greatest threats to achieving excellence, as it limits the potential for transformation, innovation, and impact. Growth is the foundation of greatness, and without it, stagnation becomes inevitable. Excellence demands continuous improvement, a commitment to refine your skills, expand your knowledge, and deepen your understanding. When you neglect this process, you forfeit the opportunity to rise to the level your purpose requires. Personal growth is not just about acquiring new skills or information. It's about evolving in character, perspective, and resilience. Every step of your journey presents new challenges, and the ability to overcome them depends on your willingness to adapt and grow. Without deliberate effort, your capacity to handle greater responsibilities diminishes. You remain stuck, operating at the same level while the world around you moves forward. Compromise diminishes calling because it represents a deviation from the principles and values that align you with your purpose. It is rarely a loud, sudden betrayal, but rather a gradual erosion, often justified by convenience, fear, or external pressures. While compromise may seem harmless or even practical in the moment, it undermines the integrity and discipline required to fully live out your calling. Every calling carries with it a set of standards, non-negotiable principles that guide your decisions and actions. These principles act as guardrails, keeping you on the path of purpose. When you compromise, you lower these standards, allowing distractions and lesser priorities to take precedence. Each small compromise chips away at your resolve, making it harder to maintain focus and commitment to what truly matters. Compromise also weakens your sense of identity. When you stray from your values, you begin to lose sight of who you are and what you stand for. This internal conflict creates doubt, confusion, and insecurity, all of which make it even more difficult to walk confidently in your calling. A strong sense of identity is foundational to fulfilling your purpose, and compromise undermines that foundation. The impact of compromise extends beyond yourself. It influences how others perceive you and the level of trust they place in you. When people see you compromising your values or wavering in your commitment, it diminishes your credibility and effectiveness. Being chosen means carrying the responsibility of leadership, influence, and example. Compromise erodes the trust and respect that are essential to fulfilling this responsibility. Compromise also robs you of the opportunity for growth. Purpose often requires walking a difficult and demanding path, one that stretches you and builds your character. When you compromise, you avoid the challenges that are meant to refine you, settling instead for ease or comfort. This avoidance stunts your development, leaving you unprepared for the greater opportunities and responsibilities that lie ahead. Moreover, compromise opens the door to regret. In the moment, it may feel like a small concession, but over time, the cumulative effect of these choices can lead to a sense of unfulfilled potential. You may look back and realize that the things you let slide, the standards you lowered, or the opportunities you bypassed have cost you the chance to achieve something extraordinary. To remain aligned with your calling, it's essential to recognize compromise for what it is, a subtle thief that diminishes your potential and dilutes your impact. It's not just about the actions you take, it's about the mindset and commitment behind those actions. Purpose demands unwavering dedication, and compromise is a direct threat to that dedication. Neglect of personal growth undermines the pursuit of excellence by limiting your capacity to adapt, innovate, and thrive in an ever-evolving world. Excellence is not a fixed state. It's a continuous journey that demands constant refinement of skills, expansion of knowledge, and development of character. When personal growth is ignored, stagnation takes its place, and stagnation is the enemy of progress. Growth is not optional for those who strive for excellence. It is the process through which potential is realized and capabilities are strengthened. Neglecting growth creates a gap between where you are and where you need to be to fulfill your purpose. Challenges that were once manageable can become overwhelming, and opportunities that require higher levels of competence may pass you by because you are not equipped to seize them. Personal growth fuels confidence. When you commit to learning and developing, you build a foundation of knowledge and skills that empower you to tackle challenges with assurance. Neglecting growth, on the other hand, erodes this confidence. Without continuous improvement, you may begin to doubt your abilities or feel unprepared to meet the demands of your calling. Excellence requires a strong sense of self-assurance, which can only be maintained through ongoing personal development. Neglecting growth also impacts your relationships and influence. People are naturally drawn to those who demonstrate a commitment to improvement and a desire to be their best. When you stop growing, you may inadvertently send the message that you are complacent or uninterested in becoming better. This can weaken your ability to inspire and lead others, as excellence is often measured not just by what you achieve, but by the example you set. In addition to its impact on confidence and influence, neglecting personal growth can lead to missed opportunities. The world is constantly changing, and new knowledge, technologies, and ideas are emerging every day. Failing to keep up with these advancements can leave you behind, unable to take advantage of innovations or adapt to new circumstances. Growth ensures that you remain relevant, prepared, and capable of navigating the complexities of an ever-evolving environment. Moreover, personal growth is essential for resilience. The journey to excellence is fraught with challenges, setbacks, and obstacles. Developing yourself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, equips you with the tools to persevere and overcome adversity. When growth is neglected, your ability to handle difficulties diminishes, and you may find yourself more easily discouraged or overwhelmed. Excellence is built on a foundation of intentional effort and a willingness to evolve. Neglecting personal growth is not merely a passive decision. It is an active choice to remain stagnant. This stagnation not only limits your potential, but also diminishes the impact you can have on the world around you. Growth is the fuel that propels you forward, enabling you to reach new heights and fulfill the extraordinary purpose for which you were created. Neglecting growth also leads to complacency. When you become too comfortable with what you know or what you've achieved, you stop striving for better. Excellence is not a destination. It's a process. And that process requires a mindset of perpetual learning and improvement. Those who are truly excellent understand that their best today must be the foundation for an even better tomorrow. Furthermore, personal growth is what equips you to lead, influence, and inspire others. If you fail to grow, you limit your ability to serve others effectively. Your stagnation becomes a barrier not just to your success, but to the success of those who depend on your leadership and vision. Excellence is inherently outward focused. It's about making a difference in the lives of others. Neglecting growth undermines this mission. Ultimately, the enemy of excellence is the mindset that says, I've done enough, or I already know enough. True greatness requires humility, the recognition that there is always more to learn and room to improve. Without this humility, you close yourself off from opportunities to stretch beyond your current capacity. Neglecting personal growth isn't just a missed opportunity. It's a decision to settle for mediocrity when you were designed for more. Disconnection from the source is one of the most profound ways to disqualify yourself from fulfilling your calling. The source is where your purpose originates, the foundation of your identity, and the wellspring of your strength and wisdom. When you are connected to the source, you operate with clarity, direction, and power. Disconnection, however, leads to confusion, weakness, and misalignment, eventually pulling you away from the path of being chosen. The source represents the anchor that keeps you grounded in your mission. It provides the guidance you need to navigate challenges and make decisions that align with your higher purpose. When you sever that connection, even unintentionally, you lose access to the insight and strength required to stay on track. Without the source, you're left to rely solely on your own limited understanding, which can lead to poor decisions and a drift away from what you were designed to do. Question 2. Disconnection doesn't always happen suddenly. It often occurs gradually. It starts when you become too busy, distracted, or complacent to maintain your connection. Over time, the priorities and practices that kept you aligned with the source are replaced by habits and pursuits that pull you further away. This disconnection manifests in a loss of vision, where your sense of direction becomes clouded and you begin to question your purpose. Another consequence of disconnection is the loss of power. The source is the well from which you draw the energy, courage, and resilience to pursue your calling. Without it, you can become easily overwhelmed by challenges that once seemed manageable. You may find yourself lacking the passion and drive that once fueled your pursuit of excellence, leading to burnout and frustration. Disconnection from the source also affects your relationships and influence. When you are out of alignment, it becomes difficult to lead others effectively or inspire them to follow their own purpose. People are drawn to leaders who are connected to something greater than themselves, because that connection brings authenticity, integrity, and vision. Losing that connection diminishes your ability to impact those around you. Ultimately, disconnection from the source creates a state of vulnerability where you are more likely to be swayed by external pressures and distractions. You lose the focus and discernment needed to prioritize what truly matters. leaving you susceptible to compromises that further disqualify you from your calling. Think about that. Every second, from the moment you wake up, fear is one of the most potent forces that can sabotage your destiny, quietly infiltrating your thoughts, decisions, and actions until it undermines your potential. Destiny demands boldness, but fear is the very antithesis of courage. It clouds your vision, paralyzes your progress, and creates barriers where none should exist. When fear takes root, it causes you to question your worth, doubt your abilities, and hesitate at the very moments when action is most critical. Fear operates as a subtle yet persistent voice, whispering, "What if you fail?" Or "What will others think?" It thrives on uncertainty, magnifying risks while minimizing possibilities. This distorted perspective keeps you from stepping into opportunities that could lead to growth, success, and fulfillment. Fear convinces you that staying in your comfort zone is safer than pursuing the unknown, even though destiny is always found beyond the boundaries of comfort. Remember, being chosen is not a one-time event, it's a daily decision. Choose wisely, choose boldly, and choose with purpose.